necessary. That's why I carry. By any means necessary. That's why I carry. Shouts out to X at the window with the gun. Or was it the Tech 9 and KRS-One? When is the best time to make your ops run? Make they so fly. Keep my 45 looking like the FOI. Hollow rounds that sound just like a war cry. Should've stayed down cause now it's crunch time. When I walk away and take everything that's mine. Sacrifice your fate when you dropping a dime. The silver-tongued devil drinking from the grapevine. The anger on this level can be called the hate crime. Justified before I'm tried, guess that's fine. How a nigga gon' provide and he ain't got spine? These begging ass niggas that ain't got no grind. That's why I drop a stack on the Krishna shrine. I keep one in the chamber and a switch on my 9. Then my victims stand in line. They gotta take a number and better bring a lunch. Full moon, I'm under with a werewolf's hunt. My witches got intuition and riches on the hunch. My family's a dynasty, they all get a cut. We don't believe in luck. The miracles are literal with physical bucks. Tinted windows invisible in that Maybach truck. Can't be seen. 21st century on that gangster lean. Puffing on the finest green. Then I get away clean. They eyes wide shut just like fentanyl fiends. And once they open up, it's the end of your dreams. I'm a solo nigga known for taking whole teams. But I'll tell you one thing. By any means necessary. That's why I carry. By any means necessary. That's why I carry. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me. I got my back against the wall. I make a couple calls. Pimp this telephone, that's that grown man ball. My program won't fall. Trying to forget it all. Spending dough at the mall. Acting like I'm within the law. But we outside. Niggas try to get a clout ride. Cause I'm bout mine. And I'm never out of time. Won't ever doubt my grind. Walk a dead line. Dirty money kinda shine while I age like wine. Cause the game's bittersweet. The prism from this ism won't let a bitch sleep. You see me, then you don't. Gotta keep the mystique. Just check the technique. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me. Back to the basics. Problems like my blunt, nigga, I'ma always face it. Ain't worry about expenses, cause I'll always remake it. While I'm rocking the latest. Radiant cuts on the bracelet. Intoxicated and concentrated. Whether sober or wasted. Shit ain't over till I take it. That's a thief in the night. No bark, no bite. We slit throats and we move in silence. Cause it ain't no talking when you gotta choose violence. I'm on a diet, so the beef is no discussion. We seek the repercussion. Money grows on trees, so we smoke it like it's nothing. Cause it's always something. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me. They think a nigga filthy. I'll never plead guilty. Spend a couple racks at the stove. I hope you feel me.
Yo, what's cracking in the motherfucking hit house? We are back here at the Money Religion When I say money religion, that means by all costs, nigga. It doesn't matter if you got to put your neck in the guillotine, nigga. It doesn't matter if you have to take risks, nigga. You take risks to get rich, nigga. Or you sit on the job with the ugly fat bloke. The ugly fat old motherfucker has to sit on the fucking job. Do you understand? The diseased, okay? The motherfucker who you know, got the grandma living in the basement and shit, trying to feed off of somebody else's Social Security money. We don't do no weak ass shit like that, nigga. You got to put your neck in the motherfucking guillotine for the real dollar bill. Ain't no hiding, ain't no scary, ain't no nothing. You understand? That's what I mean when I say the money religion. So the right hand might be legal, but the left hand is going to be illegal, and you best be prepared to do what the fuck you got to do to get real bag. Okay, that's what's going on when I say the money religion. Please know that. So as of right now, we're gonna put this up here. Y'all know I got the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1, 2, and 3, the Black Man's Bible, and the Ethereal Law paperback. That includes the Real Nigga Etiquette, the Real Nigga Etiquette VooDoo edition, and the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. Those 4 books are ebook. All come for $100. You can get it now at the link that is provided, and you see it on the screen. So let's get to it. Let me put some stuff up here in the room right now. I wanted to do this subject before they kicked me off for 2 weeks. And they're still trying to kick me off right now. You know what I'm saying? So with that being stated, y'all definitely need to go to the moneyreligions.local. But I see motherfuckers is using me as entertainment and not taking shit serious. That what I say or do, you know, I'm not your radio host. You know, I'm not your wild rogue card for you to listen to on the audio, nigga, so you can feel good about yourself. This is all reality. You know, I expect to be able to make large amounts of dough with those individuals who've been watching me or who are on the same wavelength, which I already have with certain individuals who have the courage to do so. You know, a lot of people don't have the courage, and you want to stay behind screen names. I don't, you know, it's really hard for me to respect that. It's very hard for me to respect a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel. I don't have any content on Rumble, you know, and I mean, loading up content here, there, at a million motherfucking sites is a lot of fucking bullshit, man. Is what you got to understand. You know, it's just like when you see Kai Cenat, the nigga who making millions of dollars and shit from his post. That nigga has a $500,000 team. They all have teams behind them. So just because, and that's where they duped you with Lil Wayne. They made you think that, oh, Lil Wayne was out here doing all the money by his solo. Then they had a whole $1 million staff behind him moving shit. So stop. A lot of people need to stop going for what they see on the front space. You know, it's about a team. I ain't got no team. Everything. I didn't have a team when I wrote the Kicked Out of Heaven. I didn't have a team when I wrote the Black Man's Bible. The only team that I had during those times was the one that was in my bed. You dig what I'm saying? And that was the only team a nigga had. Besides that, all this literature and all of this shit, nigga, ain't no team. Yeah, I did all of this on the solo. And I'm not saying that in no braggadocious format. I'm just telling you what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? If I sat around and waited for the Negro team, you know, and Kai Cenat, his team ain't a bunch of niggas. You know what I'm saying? So if I would have sat around and waited for the Negro team, I probably would have had 2 books, 3 books done by now. That's why niggas be sort of scared to bring me onto their platform and shit, because they see I got real work done. And while you was sitting up there blabbing your fucking hot link lips, nigga, and you ain't get shit done. And I was blabbing my hot link lips the entire fucking time and still got all this shit done. Still maintained fucking my kids and cars and all this other shit. You understand? So yeah, man, I don't want to hear the bullshit. You know, deal with some fucking reality up in here. And that's what the reality is for this video today. The video is the 30's is not the new 20's. I remember when Jay-Z came out with that song. I was living in Atlanta. It was Jay-Z, Andre 3000, and some other nigga was on track. And like, 30's the new 20's. 20's the new, nah, nigga. Ain't 30's no new 20's, nothing, nigga. The 20's is the 20's, and the 30's is the 30's, and the 40's is the 40's, and you better have your fucking shit together, because your knees is getting weaker every motherfucking decade. Okay, let's get real. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I'd like to go ahead and talk about a statement that pissed me off yesterday. The brother Aaron the plumber, I saw him say some shit on the World Star Hip Hop talking about some black men need to go to jail for 90 days to become a man. What type of... And see, a statement like this is why I don't listen to no niggas. It's shit like this why I don't listen to no niggas. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think the Hindu is telling their children you need to go to jail for 90 days? Do you think the Irishman, the white man over here telling their children, oh yeah, you need to go to jail for 90 days to become a man? And being up in a fucking cinder block, a concrete room with a bunch of other niggas who's in concrete rooms has nothing to do with being a man. Or becoming a man, or encoding responsibility into your character and how you operate. You know, the number one, and we're going to go over all the ages today. You know, we're going to go over each, age group on what you need to be doing and what you need to have achieved by a certain time period. So you could be an adult facing the world and, taking on whatever comes your way. You see what I'm saying? So first and foremost, as my homie said it yesterday, the first fraternity for the male is going to be, what you want to call today Boy Scouts. And the reason is, and I wouldn't refer anybody to go get inside those groups today. We don't know what the fuck is going on. But the process and what they teach during that time period in your adolescent ages is what's needed. When it comes to the development of masculinity, of becoming a man. And what that is your attachment to the earth. You need to understand how animals operate. You need to pitch you a tent. You need to strike the fire. You need to cook over the fire. You need to, have some ashes in your pot of beans and eat that, and, eat your beans with some ashes in it and shit. You need to do that type of shit. And you need to sleep in the wild conditions of nature. And especially when it comes to it raining. I've been in tents and slept in tents during the course of rain. Did all of that even in the snow, and below zero weather. You gotta sleep in fucking 2-layered fucking sleeping bags and shit. And all of that, those type of things. You need to walk in the swamp. You need to walk into the swamp up into your chest. You need to deal with the stench of the swamp. You need to deal with the mosquitoes. You need to deal with the leeches. You need to see the frogs. You need to hear the birds. You need to know how to, break a branch and make a mark for your trailing inside the woods so you don't get lost. And when you come back, when you walk back, you know that you have already went down this trail from a mark that you have made. These things are very, very, very real. You need to understand camouflage. You need to understand archery. You need to understand, attack. You need to be strategical. You need and you learn all of these things in the woods. You understand? You learn all of these things camping. And it needs to be a repetitive thing that you learn, and this also goes in, and when you learn these things, is going to assist with the maintenance of your household. And maintenance that's why Maine, the only word that you can really spell out of Maine is man. You understand? And that's the maintenance of things. The male has a responsibility of maintaining things. So you have to, that is what protection is. When the woman talking about being protected and all of that, you have to, check your tires to see if it's flat. You have to, check the engine, the oil for your engine, your transmission. You have to you have to be, have a understanding of machinery, because we definitely depend on machines in this world today. So these things are very, very important. Those experiences need to be in at least by 10, 15 years old. Nowadays people want to shove their children into sports, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sports is more just body collision is basically what you're doing. There is hand-eye coordination that you're learning. You are learning the politics of risk and having foresight on what you need to be doing, following the the plans that is in the book, following the strategy, and having the intention and the goal to win, and going to the extremes in order to win. And if you're not cheating, you're not trying. You need to destroy whatever is in your way in order to win. Okay, these are root elements of the thinking patterns that needs to be installed inside of quote unquote men. It has nothing to do with fucking jail. You learn how to become a man in nature and surviving in the woods way more than what you'll ever learn how to become a man being around some fucking retards in a fucking penitentiary. Okay, so, and this is one reason why I don't listen to niggas. Niggas don't know how to compare and contrast, and they don't have a real experience line when it comes to how other races operate and other races. And as we can see, all races are ahead of the black race based on one word: technology. Based on one other word: science. They all understand science, and they all understand everything is a science, and they submit to that. The Negro does not want to submit to any form of science. The chimpanzee brain of the Negro wants to muster up fucking thoughts and then try to solidify that as a reality to operate off of. And it's not a reality to operate off. Fucking nothing. And you haven't tested science, nor do you operate off of science. And that's why we on our internet, and what do you see? A bunch of fucking barbarians talking about squabble, 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 and fighting every goddamn where. Because you were still in Neanderthal mind frame. You have not developed any weapons. You are still in the status of you utilize weapons that other races have developed. When we talk about handguns or semi-automatics or rifles or whatever the case, But besides that, if guns weren't developed, the Negro would still be swinging around blades like they're in the middle of the fucking Zimbabwe right now. They were like they're in the middle of the Congo. They'd still be swinging around blades and amputate motherfuckers' arms and decapitate people. And that's about as most you're gonna get. You see what I'm saying? So you don't submit to science, and therefore you don't even know machinery in order to develop a weapon like a gun. So you want to focus on fighting all goddamn day, and the only reason you try to focus on fighting is to blind yourself from the responsibility of understanding science, from the responsibility of digging up and investigating what humans have been doing before you were born, because you're so self-centered that you think you are the great Wesley Snipes and everything is supposed to kneel to you, and you know what the fuck you're talking about when you don't know shit. That's why I don't listen to niggas. This is a prime example on why I don't listen to no niggas, because let's go into it, right? So after the age 17, 18, you're supposed to be going into a university. You're supposed to sit in that university for 4 years for your bachelor's, right? So then that would make you around 21, 22. And then after your bachelor's, maybe you go to graduate school, and then you're there for about until 26, 27 to get your master's, and then I think it's maybe a year or 2 years on top of that in order to get your doctorate, your PhD in whatever industry that you're doing. And sometimes these times differentiate also depending upon your willpower and how much energy you put towards the situation. So then that means by the ages of 25, 26, and sometimes people just go right in after their bachelor's into their industry. So that means by the age of 26, 27, you are either to have a master's already, or you are to be into your at least 4 or 5 years into your industry, which definitely would take you past the space of an intern. And at that higher level, you should definitely be an exec or something of that nature in your firm, whatever industry that may be. Like I said, it differentiates depending on what industry you're in, and also it will differentiate depending on your fraternity and if you have nepotism in those fraternities or in that industry. Okay, and that nepotism would be that your father or your grandfather or your mother or your grandmother has also put in due diligence in these areas, and they can make the road a little bit easier for you, which that is. Okay, it is a responsibility for you as an adult to have expansion inside your industry in order for your children to have an easier road to get inside that same industry if they want to. And if not, then you should at least have the finances attained to assist your child in whatever industry they want to get inside of. You understand? So 30s is not the new 20s, okay? Because it's only that for the Negro, because the Negro takes his 18 to 27 time period, because at 27 years old, that's where the big hit comes in. And this is a soul position that comes in. You get bopped upside the head, and it's like, holy shit, 30 is right around the corner. What have I done? Where am I at? What am I going to do? And nobody tells black males, or black, I don't know what black females get told, because I'm not a black female. But me as a black male, I was never told this. I was just thrown to the wind. Obviously, my sister, she was given 10,000. She went to the University of Chicago. I never got pushed up that route, so I had to figure out things on my own. And that's where a lot of hustling and a lot of things came in when it came to street shit in between the ages of 18 and 27. You dig what I'm saying? So, because when black males turn the age of 18 to 21 zone, we definitely feel a black cloud going over our head of, nigga, you about to go to the penitentiary. You keep on fucking around with these other niggas, your ass is finna go to the penitentiary, and who knows what happens from there. And due to the fact that I caught cases when I was in high school, I was already shown clearly that I'm not going to have any assistance. I'm not going to have any level of, money put on no commissary. I'm not even going to have anybody pay for a lawyer. I'm going to be stuck with the public defender. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is the court appointed lawyer. You see what I'm saying? Who is in cohorts with the judge, you see? So please understand, this is what you're doing to black males. So a lot of the results that you see up on the YouTube or on the TikTok or whatever platforms you go to, and you see these whack 100s or these loose cannon or these situations in New York and the Jim Jones and all this shit, please know that that's due to a lack of intelligence and a lack of leadership from their childhood, most likely coming from a single mother household. You know what I'm saying? And also coming from a neglectful father. Okay, which sometimes the father could be there, but he's a warehouse worker. He's a drunk, and my father wasn't no drunk. My father just played. He worked at the Department of Defense. But still, he didn't have any intellect on where to lead me to inside the world. You see what I'm saying? Because of how he was raised. You see what I'm saying? And he lucked up during the whole 70s and the 80s, where you could just walk right into a warehouse and sit at your warehouse job for 20 years and just play the game. And during those time periods, it wasn't a high level social demand of emasculation and repetitive bullshit during the course of you working at the warehouse or working inside of, whatever facility you were at. You see, nowadays, there is a pressurized system of, we're going to emasculate you up in here and we have a demand that you have what would we call an emotional intelligence, okay, while you're working at our facility, okay, whether that be a warehouse environment or whether that be a call center environment. They do all this social policing bullshit that we want you to be a bitch ass nigga. You dig what I'm saying? They even through the course of a training of a job, they'll have a whole day or a whole hour, 2 hours where they're talking about, are you going to snitch on the job? Nigga, if you see Susie doing this, are you going to tell? Are you going to goddamn cooperate with the motherfucking potluck? No, bitch. I'm not eating your nasty ass food with your stank ass fucking dog running around in your house. I don't know the conditions of your fucking home, and I'm not eating shit coming out of your fucking home because you fucking humans are fucking nasty. You humans are fucking disgusting. You understand? I've seen too much disgusting, nasty ass shit that the human will do when they think nobody is around, but that camera is over there in the corner, and you motherfuckers is over here pissing in the coffee pot. You motherfuckers is over here putting poison in motherfuckers' drinks and rat poisoning in the food and all types of unnecessary shit. You know, motherfucking Grubhub and the DoorDash motherfuckers be picking their fucking fingers and picking the fucking boogers out their nose and rubbing it in your fries, nigga, spitting in your fucking drink. The human is nasty. Okay? The human is a disgusting fuck who doesn't have what they call quote unquote home training. And you wanna know why they don't got no home training? Because they don't come from a home. They come from a trailer. Okay? They come from a trailer home. Okay? They come from the fucking orphanage. Nasty motherfuckers, man. I don't trust you. I done none of that. You understand? You motherfuckers watched all the oil spill in 2020 go down, and what did niggas do? They ran to go slurp down the fucking shrimp in the crab bucket. You nasty motherfucker, man. You know, you got the dog all in your house and the cat hopping all up on your bed and on the fucking counter. I'm not eating no goddamn food at no motherfucking potluck. You niggas is nasty. I don't know where the fuck you come from. Nah, I'm cool. You have to do goddamn the motherfucker like the goddamn security at the club. You got to wave the wand around the goddamn human. You got to goddamn put the human through the x-ray like they do at the airport, because you a nasty, disgusting motherfucker. We don't know what type of intent and the shit you got rolling up in your goddamn head, motherfucker. You know? Yeah, bro. Fuck that shit. I don't trust no human. I do not trust the human. No. I'm not finna get delivery nothing from you niggas. I'll never do no Grubhub or no DoorDash, nigga. You know, if I'm gonna go get some pizza, if I order some pizza, I'm pulling up to pick my shit up. Fuck all of that shit. I don't like people preparing my food. I mean, you know, come on now. We've all eaten at restaurants and all of that other shit. But do I do it on repetition? Hell no. Me and my boys eat home-cooked meals here at the house. Far more than what we do with the lazy fuck and eating the fast food. The motherfucker that's eating fast food all the time is a direct symbol of being lazy. You know? And when you go to their home, they have the bags everywhere. They have the trash everywhere, you know. And that's why motherfuckers don't want you to come to their house, goddamn. They want to look all beautiful on the streets. But, nigga, you go to their goddamn house, nigga, and it's the goddamn, you got rats dancing and singing in the living room like a fucking Walt Disney movie, you know. And we're not going to do that, you know. So during the 18 to 20 years old, the black male gets lost. He gets left into the zone of nothingness, and that's where you see the shit on the news all the time. The domestic violence cases. Look at the age range of the individuals that get caught up with these domestic violence cases, and they done stabbed up the baby and the motherfucking babysitter, and you know, 2 black women just got killed by their fucking husbands on in the conjugal visit at the same penitentiary, you know. And we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that later. I'm not gonna go in on that right now because it's gonna lead off of the subject a little bit. And you know, so 18 to 27 is very dangerous. Black males don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their future is gonna look like. They're in a stage of rebellion. Okay, and just like the motherfucker who's eating the shrimp in the crab bucket after we done had all these oil spills in the ocean, and after we done had, the cruise ships. Did y'all know that the cruise ships dump 3 tons of human waste and other forms of waste inside the ocean only 3 miles off the coast, nigga? And that's what shrimps eat. That's what the crabs eat, is the dookie log. You see what I'm saying? So a motherfucker eating the oyster and all that shit, you stay the fuck away from me. There's nothing we gonna communicate about. A hog eating motherfucker. I can't do it. You see what I'm saying? So we look at this age range, 18 to 27. The black male is lost. He isn't investigating any form of industry. The light or the brightness of being interested has not been sparked in the brain, so they don't go looking for things. They end up hanging out at the goddamn trap house and playing fucking video games, and then plow, you get whopped upside the head with the baseball bat. You're 27 years old. 30 years are going to come around the corner. What are you going to do? In between the ages of 18 and 27, you need to be founding or setting the groundwork for the industry that you're going to be in for the rest of your days. Okay. And until you may make a great shift, but that's something that's very dangerous with the black mind. It's very scattered brain. So you have to have it aligned into a focus. You dig what I'm saying? So then when 27 hits, and I've seen this with white women, Hispanics, blacks, it doesn't matter. When that age 27 hits, motherfuckers get worried about the stability of their existence and how they're going to be operating forward, because 30 is right around the corner and you don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And you've already wasted mass amounts of times in between your 18 to 27. While when we look at the elite, or when we look at other races, by the time these niggas is 27, they're already doctors, they're already lawyers, they're already well established, they're already into the real estate, they've already maybe have a home or two underneath their belt. You have to look past what the fuck they show you on all of these apps and shit, and what they show you on these videos and shit, because that is not the majority rule. That is a minority miracle case of what you're looking at. You dig what I'm saying? Or it might be not a miracle case, but also a rebellious case, because there's a lot of individuals nowadays who think they can get online and hustle up through streams and make some type of large money, and 9 times out of 10 that's not going to happen. It does happen very rarely, and it only happens with individuals who have a team who sit on the backdrop and do all of the hashtag shit and do all the sharing shit and the maintenance of all these accounts, while you are focused as the entertainer, the entertainment. You are the jewel. Okay, so you sit in front of the camera and do the shit, and let all these other dweebs in the background do what the fuck they've educated themselves on what to do. Okay, so once you hit that 30 space, it starts getting real crazy, because this is what they want to call the last lap, basically, before you hit the 40. Everything that you do in your 30s is going to prepare you for your 40s, and everything that you do in your 40s is going to prepare you for your 50s. So at 30 to 40, you don't have anything established, and you walk into this zone and you're still carrying on with the activities and the behaviors of what you were doing during your 20s, you're going to fuck up. Because at the end of the day, and then not only that, let me state that as well, by the age of 27, you should have a couple of children, a child or 2 childs, because that shows that you know how to communicate. That shows that you know how to have some form of commitment, that you have the vitality to reproduce. So that means you have a better understanding of existence. And having children also softens you a little bit towards the world, because you had to become a little bit more fragile with how you handle things, because now you have to handle an infant. You see what I'm saying? And you have to teach an infant as well. And that's why a lot of men run off, because they don't know what the fuck is going on, and they don't know how to handle that scenario. And then you also have to understand that sometimes that running off on the children behavior comes from the behavior that they were raised in. So if you didn't have a father, you don't know how to be a father. Now, and that's going to be the majority rule case, but everything wobbles in this balance of 70% and then 20% and then the hidden unknown space of the 10%, the gray area. Okay, now what you have to do in your life is to find out what is the 70% and what is the 20%. Sometimes the good part will be the 70% and the bad part will be 20%, and then sometimes the bad part will be the 70% and the good part will be 20%, and you will always have the mysterious wobble room. And you have to give respect to the mysterious wobble room, which is the gray area of the 10%, because things can wobble back and forth. And that's what existence is. That's what the stock market is. It's a wobbling system. That's what life is. It's a wobbling system. You're going to experience life. You're going to experience death. You're going to experience breakups. You're going to experience graduations. You're going to experience emotions. You're going to experience sickness. It doesn't matter where your finances are at. It doesn't matter if you're Nepo, baby. It doesn't matter what your background is, what your racial background or your religious creed is. You will experience those things, period. Okay, everybody from Prince Harry on the way down to your local janitor is going to experience those things. Okay, let's keep that very fucking clear. So you need to have some children by the age of 30. Okay, and 30 to 33. If not, then you're a weirdo. Is how it's classified in existence, and definitely inside the religions, it's those are the rules. And in many cultures, that is the rule. By the age of 30, if you don't have any children, you are defunct towards the understanding of compromising in certain situations, and also the understanding of progress when it comes to the opposite gender and progressing with them, and the whole element and space of making love, and a lot of people also have to, and you completed that space because you had the vitality and the health to do so. And you also have to understand, if you're not making love, then if your parents didn't make love, that means you were born out of hate. So a lot of individuals are being born out of hate. So you better be very careful on who you deal with and how you deal with them and what's in their system, because a lot of people are born out of hate, and that's all they can reproduce is hate, because they were born out of hate. They were born out of neglect and rejection. Okay, so when we move forward, 30s to 40s, if you don't have anything established. Now, by the time I hit 30, because of course I'll put myself up in the mix when it comes to an example of what we're looking at and discussing right now. By the time 30 came around, I was very well experienced, because I understood by the age of 7 or 10 that I didn't really have any parents that I could rely on, because I was being lied to by too much shit. So I went ahead and I understood that money was the bottom line, and not the adult's mouth and their litigation and what they're stating about, what pertaining to whatever the follow me type shit. The bottom line is the dollar bill. And that is the truth about what the money religion is. We understand that the dollar bill is the bottom line. None of that shit you like or love, or who your creed is, or who your gang is. None of that shit matters. You break your arm, you go to the hospital, they're going to ask you about your insurance. They're not going to ask you about who your Lord is. Okay, let's keep that very fucking clear, because it's very hard for the native brain to understand that all that bullshit and that mumbling coming out your fucking mouth doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is where your dollar is at. You dig what I'm saying? Okay, so when I had a lot of experience, I had already did some pimping and all that other shit. So by the time 30 came around, I understood clearly that we have to stay away from the human. Okay, when it comes to reliability, that's why you don't meet the owner of a business. What you do see is you fill out the application. You fill out the application. We'll see if you are going to stick to your word and work here, because you need a check. I don't need you. And there's a million motherfuckers just like you that's going to come through here and fill out this application. And you'll never see me as the owner. You see, that's how that works. You see, I want nothing to do with you because I know you're an inadequate. I know you probably come from some shitty fucking bloodline somewhere, and you ain't doing shit with your fucking existence. You ain't trying to make yourself better. You're not gonna do any monstrous shit. You work a fucking job. That's a phenomenal question, and you asked that question at the perfect time. So we'll go ahead and approach this question. See, anyone has a question here. I'll ask you, is it better to go into business versus starting your own business? The only reason I'm good at business, or I'm not, I haven't hit no millions, but I have hit certain figure points, and I'm in a solidified position. The thing here about business is that you can't run your business until you have worked several other businesses and I have observed the patterns of how things move and operate. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's good to work jobs. I know I just demean jobs a little bit, but I've worked jobs. I have no problem with working jobs. I'll go work a job again if I need to and the finances are low, because you have to do what you have to do in order to survive. And we all are depending on corporations at this moment. So whether you work in a job at a corporation or you're purchasing the products from a corporation, you are depending on a corporation, and you have to work in a lot of these different environments and talk to those with the seniority, ask the questions with the manager while you hobnobbing and bullshitting on break or whatever, and you get the notes on how things are ran. You read the books and you see in the books on how corporations have risen and how they have fallen. You also need to read books on how countries have risen and fallen, how wars have been won and how wars have been lost. You always have to look for the failure. Okay, because the failure is going to tell you what not to do in order to succeed. And there's many people who have already went through failed situations where you need to take those notes into how you operate. You see what I'm saying? So, it's always best for you to work in businesses before you attempt to run your own. Okay, and that's hand-to-hand sales. That's everything. So besides that, when you go into your 30s and you don't have nothing established, and I didn't have anything established by the time I got 30 years old, just lost my baby moms, moved to a new city. I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old son, just met this new beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying? And I needed to establish something to maintain my household. I had a household, a car, and I need to do something in the quote unquote legal zone in order to survive, because the older you get, the less you can take risks that are in the illegal space and jeopardize your freedom when you have people that are dependent upon you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said, okay, let me go ahead and do something that's going to be phenomenal that can work. And that's where it goes into what your occupation should be based upon your last name. I'll answer that question in a second. So what we're looking at, and if anybody else has any other questions, type them up and I'll go ahead and attend to all of them, and we can I'll give an explanation, give an answer to all the questions that I asked. So at that time, I was like, okay, 30 years old, we can't fuck around. Gotta have something legal underneath the belt that will last. And like I said, you want to go off your occupational name, which is your last name. Now, the thing that is interesting about the occupation or the job that is installed into your last name is that 9 times out of 10, you've been already doing that your whole life and didn't really know it. It maybe could have been just a little hobby or something that you just, naturally was interested into, that you just, spread out, but your career is going to be installed into your last name. So I was like, okay, I've been reading books my whole life. My last name is Booker. I know enough game to write a book. So blah. I produced the Black Man's Bible. You dig what I'm saying? And then after that, I had to keep it going, because when you study the industry of books, it says clearly that, when you write only one book and you're an author of just one book, people look at you like you're trying to use it as a get-rich-quick scheme. So I didn't really, I didn't like that, and I didn't want to be looked at like that. And I love books, I love reading, so I could take this on as an industry due to the type of books that I have written, and also the responses that I've gotten, and the lack of support from my audience and other individuals that have encountered my work out here. When we all have immediate responsibility to support your race when situations are true, and in the areas of truth and in the areas of expansion, we all have a responsibility to do that. Okay. And my race doesn't feel as if they do. So due to the type of response that I've gotten, I'm not going to write any more books. You dig what I'm saying? And there wasn't really no expectation of a certain type of response. It's just due to the fact on how the money flows and things of that nature that I can definitely see it's not a reliable situation pertaining to black people. You know what I'm saying? If I was over here writing, this whole got roaches in their house, I'd probably be making $1 million like that nigga who's writing those type of books is. But due to the fact that Negroes don't understand that in itself is a type of war in the space of literature, and we don't take that shit seriously, and nor do we try to battle. And then what the fuck is the fucking point? You dig what I'm saying? I have children I gotta feed, I got a house I gotta maintain because I am responsible. You dig what I'm saying? So in the areas of in the ages of 30 to 40, you better have some shit done. So I spent my whole 30s and 40s writing all these books and producing all this music. You know what I'm saying? I sold a lot of books. I made a couple of dollars here and there. The music industry is extremely chaotic, and I can't really put a hardcore dependency on that because it requires far more effort than what is going to be the payout in that area. You see what I'm saying? So it's bah humbug. You dig what I'm saying? But when it comes to anybody out there in the world, your 30s to 40s is going to be your last route, because right now in America, the average age to become a millionaire as a man is 57 years old. Usually, I just was reading in one book that Warren Buffett didn't see his 86 billion until after 50 something. Look at what happened with Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't see his heavy billions until after 50 something. Even though we're not pocket watching and we don't know the true details, but that is what is the standard information out here. Same with the dude that had to sell the KFC recipe. There's a lot of these individuals that didn't really get it and didn't get the finances for what they put in when it comes to work until they were 50, 57 something years old. And then that is where you get the relax mode, and that's where you can get your yacht, and that's where you can get the pretty fairy little 25-year-old looking girls running around you, and you can do whatever you want as the werewolf you are. You understand? Because the men have put in the work in order to do that, you see. And then at the same time, you can't be coming at the game too aggressive and that's why you have to have a child before the age of 30, so you have a better communication space, because if you don't, you could be unhinged, unabridged out here in the world, and you're very aggressive and destructive towards other people, and you hurt a lot of feelings on the way to get your millions, which is what happened with the brother Dame Dash. If you want to look at what's going on, he just got hit with a $4 million lawsuit that he lost. So he owes $4 million on top of all other types of money he owes, is because when he had millions, he was treating people like shit, and everybody reported that. You dig what I'm saying? And the shit will bounce back on you, so I'll get to your questions here in a second. So that is the space. 30s is not the new 20s. You don't waste your time during your 18 to 27 years old. Take your ass to a university. Go get a bunch of certificates. Go get a bunch of degrees underneath your belt. And then also during the ages of 30 to 40, that's going to be your last route for great establishment. And you have to have something established that's usually self-operating, just like a child. That's why you have to create a child, because a business within itself should be, a business isn't really complete until it is self-operating. That means, you're getting your royalties. And please understand that royalties are not supposed to be large. You're only supposed to get $1.50 per item sold during the course of your royalties, but you're supposed to sell millions. So if you sell millions and you only getting 50 cents per each one, you're getting big money. You see how that works? And it's always worked like that. It's worked like that for Europeans before America was even established. You understand? And that's proven in the middle, in the Kicked Out of Heaven. By now, Kicked Out of Heaven, Volume 1, 2, 3, The Black Man's Bible, The Ethereal Law, all come in paperback, and the ebooks, which are The Real Nigga Etiquette, The Real Nigga Etiquette VooDoo Edition, and also the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, Volume 1 and 2, come in ebook. Okay? And you'll get that right in your box, and they'll come express through the mail. You see, so that is what is very, very important, that black males are missing, and black males are not taught none of this anywhere. And when it comes to the age groups, so don't fuck around and bullshit, especially in your 30s. Because during that 31, 32, 33, all the way to that 35 is very hard wrenching on the brain on what you gonna have established and what you should have established. And this is why a lot of niggas, try to disappear behind the alcohol, and they try to disappear behind the drugs, and they try to go to jail on purpose, because they don't know where their future is going. A lot of the situations that you see when it comes to black men on the fucking, these platforms, talking all this jail shit and all this other shit, or when you turn on the news and you see a domestic violence case, or you see the stupid crimes being committed, all of that is being done because they don't know they don't know where their future is going, and they don't have any foresight on what to do with their future, and nor is anybody trying to assist them, because the black culture isn't that assists anybody in a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Black culture is predicated upon fame. Everybody wants to be famous, and everybody's worried about shine. So in order to be famous, they have to knock other people out of the way in order to stick their chest out. You see what I'm saying? And it's really immature. It's really elementary, but it's all due to a lack of intellect, and is also due to a lack of love coming from the parents, and a lack of being taught how to be interested into things. You know what I'm saying? Introducing new things to their children, and also letting black males understand that you do not have to think in the limited Negro space. The Negro thinking space is very limited. It's very dangerous because of its limitation, and idleness is the devil's workshop. And that's exactly what happens. Their brain is idle. The nerves aren't synapsing correctly. The food intake has been very low and degenerate the entire time. 9 times out of 10, the food that created them while they were in the stomach during the course of the pregnancy was all some Kraft mac and cheese and some motherfucking Wendy's burger and the fucking dookie pie. You understand? And that's what a motherfucker was created off of. So you have to watch that shit. So let me go in on some questions that were asked right here. And anybody else got any questions or any suggestions or anything that they want stated or whatever, any comments, go ahead and make them now, man. Let's not be dead. You understand? Because that's also one of those situations that fucks up our progression. There's a lot of death, a lot of stagnation, and a lot of lack of movement and a lack of communication. You know what I'm saying? So I need some liveliness in the comments, just like you see all these other channels that you go to, the comment section, jump, the motherfuckers be hella quiet when it comes to the 720. You got 70 to 80% of the people who watch my video don't even subscribe to my channel. So that already shows you the weirdness that's going on here when it comes to me. But y'all, let's go to some of these questions. When looking at reference points of history, can we find a solitary or isolated incident that's responsible for a country's fall? Yeah, that's called the releasing of the leash on the woman. You understand? We don't have any religious system or any other system that is socially implicating the roles of man and woman inside of the household. And now women can run around and twerk everywhere and throw their cunt everywhere, and and depreciate the value of the man, and also fuck up the quality of the name of the family. You see what I'm saying? So if it was like 1940s, 1950s, and you had a prostitute in your home, or your daughter ran away and she was prostituting herself on the streets, and the neighborhood heard wind of it, everybody would look at you like, ugh. Back in those days, in the 40s and 50s, you gave birth to some autistic retard. That motherfucker was sent off to a mental hospital. You know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody want to be seen with that shit, because this is what your DNA produces, and your DNA is defunct. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Luckily, I don't have none of that shit in my bloodline. That's why I'm not. That's one major reason why I'm not quick to go back into no pimping and hoeing and all this other shit, because I ain't got no hoes in I ain't got no pimps in my bloodline. You dig what I'm saying? I don't got that shit in my parents. That shit ain't in my cousins. That shit ain't in my grandparents. That shit, my cousins don't even got no TikTok, be twerking everywhere. They don't even got tattoos. You know what I'm saying? It's an etiquette. And we're not no high class, this ain't no high class boule family bullshit. There ain't no fraternities and all that shit going on in my bloodline. It's just proper decision making. It's just common sense. It's just, self-respect is what it's called. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want no bum ass raggedy bitch around me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not in my family. I never grew up around no bum raggedy bitch. I never grew up around no motherfucking pimps. You know what I'm saying? So nigga, I'm good. They say, oh, well, 720 because you supposed to be the leader, but the leader gets stabbed in the back by his followers. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's go into another question here. Why do financially established black entrepreneurs write books for the entirety of black people and expect them to take heed when innovation is only expressed by a few? I don't know. Majority of black authors don't really show their face to the public and shit, because they already understand. When you step into the space of an author, you step into the space of an alien. I was told that by a mentor that I had at the time, and I definitely understand that now. You know what I'm saying? But because you're pulling words from the air and publishing it into the atmosphere again, you know what I'm saying, into your unique way, and it will adjust the atmosphere and how things operate. I don't know what black entrepreneurs expect. I know this: if you're a black entrepreneur listening, never put black owned on your business or anything like that. The point of your business is to make money. Being black owned means what? It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? You've never seen white owned on Nike. You've never seen, black owned on Uncle Ben's rice, nigga. Like, what the fuck is this shit? You never seen, Mexican owned on a fucking tortilla. Get the fuck out of here with your stupid fucking shit. It's like niggas be looking for some extra form of worship that is not there, and nobody cares, nigga. You understand? Let me see here. In the 40s and 50s, people used to send their kids across country to live with other relatives. Why was this a common theme? Because of better conditions in certain areas. And then 40s and 50s, you still had Jim Crow shit going on. So certain areas was still like fully getting established. Like the West Coast was just now getting established during those times. There was other areas that was just now getting established. There was a new role of socialism coming in. There was new opportunities, and the whole racism stuff was differentiated in different locations across the country. So with those opportunities available, a lot of people wanted their children underneath those opportunities, so they sent their children to other locations. And then there's also a break in the overbearing parent, what they call the tiger parent, or the parent that is trying to oversaturate their children into one aspect of existence that is not in congruency with what's going on in the new decade or the new dimension. You see what I'm saying? And it's sort of hard for the parents to break themselves down to accept the new world of the children. You know what I'm saying? And so you might have to send your children here or there to have a better chance at excelling versus where they were at. Especially if you were like in a Mississippi or Alabama, you would definitely send your children to a St. Louis or to a Chicago or to a New York or a New Jersey for better opportunities, even though there was mass racism in those areas at the same time. But you could have got better opportunities amongst the blacks, because there was a harder community line during those time periods amongst the African American, because we all had a common enemy that we recognized as a common enemy. Today, we don't recognize anybody as a common enemy, and therefore, the black race is sort of dissipated into individualism, which is sort of, but then it's also hallmarked by the Democrats and the democracy that is being enforced across the country underneath the space of true freedom, and by exemplifying backwardness. A lot of people think being a rebellious person or the areas of rebellion is actually freedom, when it's not. Rebellion is not freedom. Let's not get that confused. Just like suicide is not hurting anybody but yourself. And that's a deep space of the human thinking pattern. A motherfucker will commit suicide thinking they're hurting somebody else when you blew your own brains out. A stupid motherfucker. And that's what happens in a lot of rebellion too. People, just like the whole eating the shrimp and eating the crab and shit. People think they're being rebellious by eating the shrimp and the crab because they know there was oil spills everywhere. But in reality, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. This is a very childish mind frame. But if you stand back and look at it, you'll definitely be able to pick it out as an activity amongst a lot of people who have the intention to hurt somebody. But in reality, they're only hurting themselves. But their mind is so fucked off into the stages of backwardness that they can't even see it. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to do this video just to let people know 30's is not the new 20's. Get on your shit immediately when you get out of high school. Don't waste time in no fucking clubs. Don't waste time with the liquor and the drugs. Other races are definitely excelling at these ages, and we do not have any thorough establishment. And that's why you see all the crime that you do when it comes to the news. That's what you're seeing when you're seeing the road rage, and that's what you're looking at when you're seeing the domestic violence. Is a lot of people cannot premeditate their future, and they have no future foresight for where they want to be or what they want to attain or what they or how they want to be respected by society or what they can contribute to society. They don't even have any knowledge to contribute a goddamn thing. They're really just consumers and leeches to existence. You see what I'm saying? And when we look at the philosophy of Hegel, of Hegelianism, if you are living in a society and you are not contributing to that society, that means you're a useless eater, you're a mouth breather, you're a consumer, and you need not exist. Okay. And anybody who is not contributing and only taking away need not exist. And that's just how it works. You dig what I'm saying? Because that makes fucking sense. You understand? Is back to the story that we were all told when we were children. I think it was what, Chicken Little, and Chicken Little went around and said, do you got some bread? Do you got some milk? Do you got some eggs? Oh no, you didn't have nothing to contribute. Oh, but then they found Chicken Little went and got everything that they needed to bake the bread. And then when they baked the bread, everybody in the neighborhood smelled the bread and wanted to come by and get a slice, and you get fucking nothing because you did not assist. You have to understand. And for the ladies that's listening, if you're going to get with a man and you're going to assist him and you love him and you want the future with that individual, please understand that it does take 10 to 15 years to get anything off the ground. As I stated, if you were to go to a university, it's going to take 10 years for you to be a doctor. It's going to take 10 years for you to be a lawyer. It's going to take 10 years for you to be a surgeon. It's going to take 10 years for you to be an engineer. It's going to take 10 years for you to be an architect. It's going to take 10 years for you to get certain licenses in the real estate realm. It's going to take you 10 years to pop off in the fucking stock market. It's going to take 10 years for you to pop off in the sports book. It's going to take 10 years of hardcore dedication without the expectation of reciprocation, which means that you're going to have to work on intern status and not get paid. But your work is supposed to be done out of your heart, and it's supposed to be done out of your love, and it's supposed to be done out of your last name, which is your occupation. So you better understand that it's going to take 10 to 15 years, and with the expediency of the internet, and if you're lucky, you might get a 3 to 5 year pay. Okay? That's all there is to it. So yes, ladies, get prepared for a lot of necking and because you got to have a fluidity of the body. Okay, so a good sex life is going to be definitely required for the development of whatever the fuck you're doing. That's male or female. You have to have a good sex life, and for the birth and for the creation of whatever you're doing, because sex is that. It is the beginning of the status of creation. Okay, and you're going to need that energy involved inside of whatever the fuck you're doing, whether it's engineering, whether it's making music, art. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. Okay, you're gonna have to have that, because that keeps a good mentality. It keeps a happy mentality on you, and it also keeps a cleanliness. Okay, a cleanliness of your environment, of your home, and it also keeps a cleanliness of your hygiene, and it also lets you know that somebody cares for you. You see what I'm saying? And that you're connected to a person that if you slip and fall and break your ankle, that somebody's going to be there to assist you with walking. Do you understand that? Because if you don't get this shit together, by the time age 50 come around and you ain't got no children that's already grown, because if you had your children before the age of 30, by the time you're 50, your children should be 20, 25 something, right? So if your knees start getting weak because you're a dumbass and you've been sitting here drinking fucking diet Dr. Pepper, and you've been eating the fucking crab cake for the past 20, 30 years, and you haven't adjusted your diet. And it's funny I just stated that, because that's how cancers develop. Cancers develop when you are consistently eating the same fucking shit over and over, and you don't adjust your patterns. You have to adjust your patterns within your diet, within your viewing, within your reading, within your environment. You have to go change sea levels. You go hike on the mountain, go low in the ocean. You have to do all of these things and keep things in a flow. It has to flow like a river. It has to flow like water. That's why it's called a currency. You understand? And you'll be able to maintain a flow of good things coming into your life. But if you don't keep that happiness line going, if you don't keep that healthy sex life going, your shit is going to be fucking stagnant, ugly, fucked up, decrepit. That's why you've seen all of these conscious leaders collapse and 720 didn't. Because I understand these things, and I put them into a reality space. I activate them. You see what I'm saying? But you saw all of these niggas fall off, die. They was all here promoting the motherfucking vaccination. Don't know what the fuck they talking about, and all them niggas was gone. You understand? Okay. Because they didn't research. Okay, they allow themselves to be victimized by the thought pattern in which all other races have pertaining to what black men or black women are. you know, because their thought patterns look at you as a negative. You know, they might party with you and all of that other shit in the club and spit your lyrics and all that other shit. But when that camera go off and they go back to their family, then you best believe they pointing the finger and laughing at your monkey ass, nigga. You best know that. You best know that. They do all that clown ass snapping the finger shit with you at the club, and yeah, we gonna do the funky chicken and all this other shit. When they go back home to their motherfucking people, they clowning you niggas. Yeah, and that's what they really putting up in the motherfucking atmosphere. That's why white boy couldn't say shit about me writing this Kicked Out of Heaven, nigga, because I can go back into them late 1800s and we can see all the books you Caucasians is writing, clowning the fucking nigga, clowning the fuck out of the nigga. That's right. That's right. That's right. You have much literature that's in the game that is defamation towards my race, towards my phenotype, and towards, you know, who I am as a man. You know, you've been doing that shit for eons. You know what I'm saying? So let's not play no motherfucking games here. You dig what I'm saying? We gonna see who the fucking monkey is. You dig what I'm saying? You know? So that's the reality to it. Don't waste no fucking time in no club, because you got to think about the club environment. How much money did we just pay, you know, all these invisible faces when it comes to the club environment? We're talking about security. We're talking about liquor. We're talking about paper plates, paper forks, paper cups, napkins. We're talking about lighting. We're talking about chairs. We're talking about tables. We're talking about the flooring. We're talking about the motherfucking neon lights. We're talking about security, the clothing, the security wands, all of that type of shit. How much money was moving during the course of all this fucking clubbing that niggas done wasted all their goddamn time with the past 20 years? Ubers, Lyfts, all of this other shit. Let's even go further. The domestic violence cases that stemmed from alcoholism. We're talking about the robberies and shit that occurred after the club. We're talking about the shootouts that happened after the club. And we're talking about the mortuary. So that's the caskets and shit. We're talking about the graveyards, buying the plot. You understand? We're talking about the insurances, the life insurance, car insurance from the drunk driving accidents that occurred after the club. Yeah, a billion-dollar industry on a dumbass that wants to look good for some strangers. That's right. That's right. Stupid motherfuckers. That's right. So, you know, over here at the Money Religion, we sit on the moon and look at the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we observe the activity and we make sure we're not involved in the realms of the dumbass, you know, and the habits, the habitual conditions of the dumbass. You understand? The restaurants late at night open, you know, extra food being sold and all this other shit, you know, all because you niggas want to do what a bitch telling you to do, what to do. Oh, I want to go here. Oh, I want to go there. Oh, I want to go there. You know, gas prices and all of that, you know, you got to have your car full of gas. Oh, the motherfucking, the car rental industry. You know what I'm saying? The car industry overall, all because niggas is trying to high side and present as a superior to a bunch of strangers who are unachievers and have done nothing in life, you know, because the real clubs with dim lighting where they go and drink the scotch, you know, is a far more cordial environment. You dig what I'm saying? Where they're really doing a networking and talking about what's going on inside their industry, you know what I'm saying, and how they could put things together. Because guess what? The key word about networking is you can't network with a job worker. The job worker is doing what the fuck they doing underneath their 2-week training. They ain't doing nothing on the outside, inside the realm. You have to be in the space of freedom and entrepreneurship in order to so-called network. You know what I'm saying? And me, I'm an author and I can produce all my shit on my own. So my space of networking is very, very, very minimal, because there's a million motherfuckers out here who think they can produce art and you can't produce shit. You ain't never even sat down and watched a fucking ballet. You never sat down and watched no fucking opera. You never sat down and listened to no motherfucking classical. You have no appreciation of art. So therefore you can't produce art. And that's why your music is fucking shit. You understand? And that's why mine isn't. and my shit will stand the test of time. Do you understand? Especially this new album, you know what I'm saying? And I need y'all to go ahead and put in, because I keep you alive, so keep me alive, nigga. Hit the motherfucking Cash App if you want the new album to get put out, because if I drop this new album, nigga, with the beats I'm looking at, oh Lord, you niggas, get the fuck out of here. If I produce a new album, it'll be better than Drake's. It'll be better than Kendrick Lamar's. It'll be top line. But I don't have a team behind me, so I can't go stuff it into the Twitter and stuff it over here into the Spotify and do all this other shit, because I don't like motherfuckers coming around me talking about what they feeling they can do, and you ain't even got that shit on your resume to get the shit done, nigga. Like, what the fuck? You know? Yeah, don't yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. At the ages of 30 something, women ain't gonna be in the same space. A lot of women don't comprehend the status of how long it takes for, you know, entrepreneurism to actually pop. And a lot of females have already been secretly going to universities and doing their thing during the whole ages of 18 to 27, so they could try to run a superior's a space on you, you know, and so they can have a bigger finances and try to treat you like a little boy. You know, because that's been the goal. You know, what you're looking at is the entail in society. What you're looking at is the entail of the great experiment that was casted, where women thought they were going to be able to defeat and delete men, which it's not going to occur. And you better watch your fucking step, because when it comes to history and what has occurred in history, your monkey ass might get taken back to the stake with your fucking BBL smell. So you better watch your fucking shit. It ain't no fucking, now see, that's what I'm saying. Look at the ass backwardness of that. You understand? Can you name another species on this planet where the female is trying to defeat her male counterpart? Do you see the level of retardation that is? This is nature, bitch. You're going to bend over and you're going to get fucked as the Lord intended, because that is how nature is designed. Do you understand? That is how it's designed. That's how it works. You get the fucking. You understand? You make the food. Do you understand? And put it on my fucking plate and know your place. You understand? Because that is the way it has been set up in this dimension far before you were born. And that's the way it will continue. Do you understand? And if you want to go to war, we could do that, because men are far more trained and experienced in war than you and your fucking Barbie dolls. Right or wrong? So know your fucking place. You see, that's why I ain't gonna put me on no podcast. You ain't put it on podcast, old weak ass niggas ain't never smelled a goddamn cunt in their life, nigga. You ain't finna put me on no podcast with that dumb shit. I'm not finna be here. I'm not finna be out here belittling women. Anything that I just said was not a belittling. It was a reality. But your brain, a lot of people's brains are so stuck into the space of Walt Disney, you can't even pick out what reality is. That is a reality. You know, you make the food. I bring home the food. You make the food. You know, there's no, like I said, there's no species on this planet in between the fish, the insects, and the mammals, and the birds, okay, that is trying to defeat or delete their male counterpart. They have an order of reproduction, and they've been following that order for eons. We have an order too, and that order will maintain. And that order is that biologically you enjoy the doggy style. That order is biologically you enjoy the hair pulling. You enjoy, okay? This is what you seek. You seek to be degraded, okay? You enjoy to get slapped. You enjoy these things. So let's stop with the dumb shit. You dig? This is what it is. I didn't make it this way. It was like this before I got here to planet Earth. You know, your planet operates with this shit. You know, but it's very funny on how you the only motherfucker. That means your intelligence is inferior to the animal kingdom. Okay, the animals have a better understanding and have a better communication with each other in order to reproduce and sustain their biological order. Your dumbass is defiant against nature. You are defiant against the reality of existence. Okay. And yeah, that's what it is. Women enjoy this shit. And what's so cold is you got these beta male motherfuckers out here who try to defend the weakness. You see what I'm saying? When the beta male is an understanding that women like to sell themselves, right? Put them on a soapbox. 35, 45, 45, 55. Have their fucking medical records ready. You know, with our technology today, we put a little fucking ankle bracelet on them and give the man a little buzzer, and the ankle bracelet can't go outside of a mile distance or 2 mile distance of the buzzer. Bzz, your ass gets zapped, bitch. Take your ass back where the fuck you supposed to be at. Right? And they made the ankle bracelet popular. Isn't that the new popular symbol of defiance? It's a social status symbol of being the rowdy, the rogue to the law. That you break the law, you were Billy Badass because you have on the fucking ankle bracelet, right? That's what they tried to put out here in society, right? It has now become a fashion statement, right? You see how they be tricking you? You can only trick the fool. You see that? So, you know, the women have been telling you indirectly that they like to be sold. You know, what is OnlyFans? You know, they like to know that they are at a certain value rate. I guarantee you, if we started a system like that, these women be a far more serious about the daughters that they raise and the capabilities of their daughters. I bet you that shit. It was hey, you know, we could put a value rate at the age of 18, and the women and the mothers will get paid off what the value rate is of the daughter. I bet you that these bitches are rearing children that can speak 7, 8 languages, that can cook dishes from 4 or 5 different cultures. They can fucking moonwalk and do the stanky leg all at the same goddamn time. You dig what I'm saying? They can motherfucking do NASA mathematics, you know, and all types of shit. They'd have these females prepared to say, hey, we're going to start paying the mothers out for the daughters that they rear and what their value rate is at the age of 18, depending on their quality, which is based upon their intelligence, experience, and what their capabilities are. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so yeah, that's what it is, you know. Um yeah, that's what it is. The women think the ankle bracelets are, you know, a fashion statement. So yeah, let's go ahead and put an ankle bracelet on them, you know, zap their ass, they get out a mile distance from the home base, which would be the zapper that the male has. I'm telling you, we need to start a new system because, as we can see, they're very bad decision makers. Everything from the BBL smell to these 2 women who just went up in the penitentiary. How you gonna marry some lifers? Go on a conjugal visit in the penitentiary with the lifers and then get killed when you're on the penitentiary visit. And see, what's so really crazy about that shit is I can sort of I can guesstimate what the fuck happened. Them niggas was up in there doing foul shit with other niggas and they couldn't get it up when their wives came down there for the conjugal visit. They got so embarrassed that they just had to kill the bitch. Weird ass niggas, but you know, that's just how life goes. You know, y'all are out here thinking women are just women and they can just do whatever. Nigga, please. You know, that's why I have the peace and quiet around me. Nigga, let me dealing with no backward decision making motherfuckers. No. We not gonna do it. I've been watching this shit since a child, and you have too. You done seen many women destroy many families and all types of shit, all based on their fucking emotions and stupid shit. And we're not finna move on that line when it comes to the future. You dig what I'm saying? So if anybody If anybody wanna say something or got any questions, go ahead and make them now. I'm gonna be out of here. So, like I stated, man, when you get out of high school, man, run towards the world. You know, go to a university. You know, go to a university and get your line up. You know, don't be worried about the clubbing and the partying and the drugs and all of that shit. All of that shit should actually been experienced in high school, not college. You know, your puppy love zone should be over in high school, not college. You should know what a woman is by the time you get to college, because if you don't know the evils of existence and how other barbarian men act towards women, you're not going to be in a position to protect the woman. Mama E, go ahead and ask your questions again, because I don't see any questions here that you stated. So you have to ask your questions again, Mama E. And I definitely appreciate the ladies that are listening. Please understand, I'm not here for no brutality or to beat up your gender or anything like that. Y'all are definitely revolutionary women, which I always, salute. You know what the fuck is really going on. You didn't want to see your little brother get beat up, or you didn't want to see your father get treated the way he got treated by your mom. So you became revolutionary women, and that means you have true love in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So don't repress that for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you know that I definitely understand that about y'all. You know that the words that I speak are definitely for the world and not necessarily directly towards you. So go ahead, Mama E. Say your questions again, because no questions of yours popped up in the comments. I just looked through them. Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead and put them in the comments right now before I get up out of here. Also, remember, get the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1, 2, and 3, the most phenomenal literature that's written on the earth about the Western culture. Let's read the whole title. The Kicked Out of Heaven, The Untold History of the White Races, circa 700 to 1700 AD, Volume 1, 2, and 3 by Keenan Booker. Okay. The Black Man's Bible, the Ethereal Law come all in paperback, and then the 4 ebooks, which would be the Real Nigga Etiquette, the Real Nigga Etiquette VooDoo edition, and also the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, Volume 1 and 2. You'll receive that directly in your email once you make the purchase. All going right now for $100. It is the best deal that you'll ever get pertaining to information about your existence and where you fit in it and what you can do in it. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Mama E, post your 2 questions, because your 2 questions did not come through. It's not in my comments. I just went through all the comments. So if anybody else got any questions, go ahead and ask them now, or forever hold your peace. Before I get up out of here, I'm going to post the links here in the comments real quick. If your question is a comment, if your question is a link, then YouTube might block it. If your question has any profanity in it, YouTube might block it, But like I stated earlier, you all listening to me cannot be dependent upon a YouTube. You have to go to the moneyreligions.locals.com. I'm going to put the link in the comments here real quick. You have to go there in order to stay, down with the 720 and the money religion, because YouTube might cut me at any moment. Nobody wants me on the front line, because I bring the reality, nigga. We gonna bring the reality check. It ain't gonna be nobody fails on my watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit. I would never put you in a position of failure. I would never put you in a position of, losing. I don't like losing, but that is definitely a part of existence. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that we all have to face, but I would never put you there. And as you've never seen anybody come here making videos about me stating that I've fucked their life up in any way, and it's been 15 something odd years, but you didn't see niggas go to jail. You've seen that. Not with me. You've seen these other niggas, Well, if you're serious about your question, then just send it to my email or text it to me. Yeah, you can text me the question. You got my number. What's the problem? You know, oh, Gene Cole was good with you, family. Nobody has beat the Gene Cole donation line yet. He has donated $100 every time he get up in here. So that's what I'm talking about, is dedication, and he understands the position of survival. Maybe because he's a soldier, and I definitely appreciate you for everything that you've done for this country, regardless of how the military has treated you. So let's get down to the question here. What is my thought with the current administration on how it will affect blacks, especially with budget cuts and people losing their jobs from DEI? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I've never really looked into the details of the DEI. I don't think anything that Trump is doing is definitely a direct effect towards black people. I do understand that there's been a what's the word I'm looking for? I guess a destruction of the whole civil rights thing, or the that type of thing. I don't know, bro. And the whole segregation thing that's supposed to be going on, and I don't know about people losing their jobs from the DEI. I try to stay out of the system as much as possible, and I don't advise anybody else to get into those systems, so yeah, here we go here. Why does society, this is the question Shorty is asking, why does society promote mental illness as a flex? It's ass backwards, if you ask me. Yeah. They promote mental illness as a flex because they don't like you. Shit. I mean, the government don't like you. I can't say if Trump doesn't like you or does like you. I don't know. He's let a lot of people out of the Fed pen. He's let a lot of black people out. And he's put a lot of black people in very important positions too. So I don't know what to say about all of that. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that at the end of the day, money is the bottom line. And we have enough people listening to this video right now, which includes me creating the video, where we could be making our own money together. And if you don't have the courage for that, or if you don't have the ideas for that, or you don't have anything that you can contribute to that, then I don't know what to say. But one thing, me as being a born hustler, when I meet somebody, I say, okay, what you moving on and what you got? This is what I got. This is where we can put things together and make something beautiful happen. Now, sometimes it takes years for relationships to develop for that to occur. And then sometimes it can happen overnight. It all depends on where your trust factor is. A lot of people's trust has been destroyed from a lot of failed situations in their past. A lot of people have, spookism and think that everybody's trying to hunt them down or fuck them up. Like my other homie that's up in here. My nigga Joe Carr that's up in here. We talk damn near every day. And we put the plays together on the sports book. We're trying. You see what I'm saying? That's the point. I done gave him methods. He done gave me methods. And he done won. I done won. So we're trying. You dig what I'm saying? And within that trying, the methods and the solidification of the unity will definitely get stronger over time. And big bags will be laid down on tactics that are used for the sports book, and money will get flipped in hours. You dig what I'm saying? Over the course of one game. You see what I'm saying? But if I don't know you, and if you don't know how to do any thorough communication, and you want to hide in the bushes, and you got all these other psychological issues, then you should stay away. Then do that, because I'm very quick to pick out if a motherfucker got brain clarity if they don't. I'm very quick. It only takes maybe 1 or 2 conversations for me to hear it in your voice to see if you got enough hunt or if you have enough experience throughout the course of life to really put a bag together. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all based upon how much testosterone you got in you for a drive to get things done. You see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who go to clubs and sit on their ass and drink and worried about being lit and smoking on the fucking hookah ain't getting no goddamn money. Well, I mean, and there is some that are, don't get me wrong, but the majority rule aren't. You know what I'm saying? They're just there for the show and they think they're on some fucking black ink TV show or something. A lot of people have watched so much TV that they think they're in the TV and ain't nobody paying attention to your motherfucking ass. You know? The brother here says Republicans and Democrats were both slave owners. It's rigged. Yeah, I mean, dog, if I had the money, I'd be a slave owner too. You know, why not? You got to understand that the world is split in between the intelligent and the dumbasses. There are natural dumbasses, and by genetic and DNA strand, they will stay retarded for the rest of their fucking 50, 60 generations on this earth. You know, and there are some people on this planet who know that they're dumbasses and they don't want to do any work but the menial work that is required for them to live up underneath your roof, and they'd rather just be told what to do instead of trying to figure things out for themselves. That's what you have to understand. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd be a slave owner. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Nigga, this fucking, envy is the root of money, is the root of evil of money, is the root of evil, not money. Being broke is the root of evil. I'll tell you that. That's what the root of evil. That's where people start showing their teeth and start getting evil is when they're broke. You understand how that works? So, slavery has been a part of human existence for eons. As a matter of fact, there's more slavery going on the planet than has ever been documented on planet Earth right now. So there's a lot of slave owners, there's a lot of people who are retarded and defunct, and they need to be taken care of because they have great Forrest Gump DNA. They have the slave genetics, you understand? And there's a lot of people like that, who cares, bro? I mean, I want a foot warmer. I wouldn't mind a little fucking pretty foot warmer wrapped around my feet at night, dog, when it's cold, bro, and keep my bed warm before I get up in that motherfucker. Why not? What the fuck is wrong with people? It's only a coward and a weak motherfucker is going to look at that shit like, oh, you're doing something wrong. Oh, why are you treating people like that? Everybody ain't a person, bro. Everybody ain't the Warren Buffett, motherfucker. Everybody is not the Kevin O'Leary guy. Everybody is not the Jeff Bezos, goddamn. If you're a fucking retard and your parents raised you in this planet to be a fucking retard and they didn't give you no level of intelligence on what to do in order to secure yourself, then guess what? You are a dependent, okay? It's like they call it on the IRS. You are a fucking dependent. When you file your taxes, nigga, and due to the fact that you're a dependent, nigga, you need to be up in my house vacuuming some shit because you don't know how to survive out here in the world. And that's what's so crazy, man. There's a lot of girls be coming around me with that shit, and they be having 2-3 babies and shit, talking about my kids need a daddy. Well, bitch, you should have thought about that shit before you opened up your legs, because if you thought I'm finna waste my energy on your ragged mistakes, you'd have lost your goddamn mind. You lost your motherfucking noodle. Nigga, no, everyone is not meant to be geniuses. Nah, nigga. So come in here and enjoy your space, nigga. Okay, and fucking don't cloud up my goddamn room. Don't be having my house smelling fucking funny because of the fucking shit coming out, because of the stupidity coming out of your goddamn pores. Do you understand? That's just what it is, man. Shit, nigga. Don't be trying to demean no slave owner. I don't demean no slave owner. I own some slaves. I don't give a fuck. I own 500 motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. You see, I understand history too well, so I'm comfortable with that shit. The bitch ass nigga that was raised off the goddamn Walt Disney and the motherfucking Barney, they don't understand that shit because they're not historically literate. There's history, there's slavery all throughout that fucking Bible. Go read it. You'll see it. It's all up in there. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah. I definitely appreciate y'all coming up in here today. I got to get up out of here. I got things to tend to, you know what I'm saying? And let's get to the money. Y'all join the Money Religion Locals. So I said I was going to put the link up in here. Let me put the link up in here. Yeah, dog, I'll be a slave owner. Women have been slaves for so long that they like to get whipped. They like to get spanked. Did you know that? Did you know the ladies like to get spanked? They like the striking on the skin for the goosebumps to rise, make the hair stand on end. A lot of women like it. They love it. Women love the spanking, nigga. Where you think that shit came from? It came from thousands and thousands of years of slavery in all cultures. Asian, white, black, African, Hispanic, all of them. Do you understand that it's the planet you're on? Okay? Let's deal with the reality. Let's deal with the reality. Out there in the Pacific, okay? They like the tethering on the hide. Do you understand that? Oh, you better get it. Because if you niggas is out here too weak to spank your motherfucking bitch, okay, you're not gonna keep the bitch, okay? Because the bitch gonna test your nuts, nigga, okay? And that's all there is to it. Let me see up in this motherfucker, man. You know? Shit. Women like to run around naked. When, you know, they like that shit. You know, shit. They act like they don't because your intelligence line is too low to even understand that you're not historically literate enough. You know, your fucking public school didn't teach you that. You understand? They like that shit. Women can quickly get around anybody and run up and down the street. Nigga, there was a situation out there in Dallas, white woman running around in the motherfucking airport, butt ass naked. Talking about she was Pocahontas and shit. She started talking about she was all these different goddesses from Walt Disney movies and shit. This is what you have allowed. Okay? Because you don't put down great restriction. You need to put down that ankle bracelet, nigga. You need to put down that ball and chain. You understand? And it's coming back. You best believe it. So let me put this link up in here before I go about it. This motherfucker. Nigga got shit to do in the world. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, men better stop acting, better stop lying to themselves about what women like. They like that brutal shit. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I definitely appreciate y'all kicking it with me. I don't know when I'm gonna be back. Y'all didn't sustain and keep me alive, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go be back up here on these videos doing this shit, man. Y'all holler at me. Y'all know what the email is. Y'all got all the websites. The brother asked here, would I ever start the get the fuck out of here news again? Do I have the link to your money religion? Yeah, I put the money religion link up right now, but I definitely need the donations at this moment. So let me put the donation link up. Y'all keep me alive. I keep y'all alive. That's how the game goes. But would I start to get the fuck out of here news? Nah, I can't. I can't start anything, bro. It takes time. It takes money, bro. And there's no support, bro. You know, and I do everything by myself, and I'm not stating that as if I won't work with people. I will work with people, but I like to work with people who have something on their resume that shows that they know what the fuck they're doing. I don't want to work, working with people is like, oh, boss, niggas want to be Igors and shit. You know, this shit doesn't put out fine art. You know what I'm saying? I like to put out fine art. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna survive and live on its own. You know what I'm saying? All my shit is alive. My books are alive. My music is alive. You know, and that's just the bottom line to it. You dig what I'm saying? So I could start up a million more things than just to get the fuck out of here news. I could start up a million more things, but I don't got no support line, bro. I can't just be taking money out of my son's mouths, man, and dumping it into strangers in the internet, dog, for what? When I'm not getting no residual back, bro. Everything has to fit within the space of the business model. That means your investment and your return. And if you're not getting any return, then what the fuck is the point of the investment, dog? I'm not doing this shit for entertainment, dog. I'm doing this shit for the advancement of the whole picture when it comes to the black race and when it comes to the human race. But specifically when it comes to the black race, you have a responsibility to be militarized. And you can't be militarized without being educated if you're going to run around here fucking chaotic and you're not going to get shit done. done. You dig what I'm saying? So you have to be militarized on the intellectual standpoint first, and then, figure out you'll encounter the experiences as you're being educated on how to defend yourself. But we see that we got nothing but snitches and bitch ass niggas in this game, all the way from LA to New York. Is this not the reality? So the militarization ain't gonna work. Especially when niggas can't even control their own fucking woman and give them a fucking spanking, and the bitches is taking y'all niggas to court and raping you niggas, and you niggas gotta pay child support for 20, 30 years. 720 ain't never paid no motherfucking child support, homie. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look at the resume. We got to look at the achievement line. And that's just the reality to it, man. So if anybody got any ideas about progression and growth, man, you can hit the email. I'll put the email up in here. But that's just the bottom line to it, man. There's trust me, the get the fuck out of here news is only 0.0001% of the shit I could put out, bro. But if there ain't no financial assistance, then ain't nothing gonna be put out at all. You dig what I'm saying? So, just like these books, I had to put thousands and thousands of dollars in my books, man. So that's why I don't got no music videos like that, because that shit take a lot of money and takes, people and all other types of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna go in here and get the fuck up out of here. I definitely appreciate y'all coming through today. You dig what I'm saying? I can't tell y'all when I'll be back, but just look out for the 2:00 time period, all right? And I'm out this bitch. Buy the books and peace. Oh yeah, don't forget Millennia DVDs as well. Go get some scholars in your life. Peace.
Or a bunch of gossiping bitches. I thought concrete hearts only came from the trenches. Niggas went from starter players to the lawyers on the benches. Niggas' whole life be on one small condition: the secrecy I keep with me and never will I leak the G. Don't speak what you see, hear no evil. Your peers ain't your equals. Watch out for weak hoes. They working time off, talking about who life's lost. But what does mine cause? A smirk from a CEO, a smile from a crime boss. Spent your advance, now the contract's tossed. Better get a podcast, cause the game move fast. Make dimes from studio time, mixing that trash. Bunch of Johnny Bravos trying to prove that they got cash, and it's all gone in a flash. Spend dough on whatever, it ain't meant to last. Reminisce on the days with the shoebox stash. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. What ain't broken, keep your third eye open. It was all a dream about that Wu-Tang cream. We battle on the mic and go to war for the streams. One nigga gets the light and got an invisible team. Then your manager set you up for life in the beam. Thought shit was under your wing. Stop, it was chicken. Your fans turned to spies and that's why they listen. So pay attention to every line they sneak dissing. Heat comes from friction. Dreams are sleep vision. So fuck what you making. Let's confuse these niggas talking about who's the greatest. Fuck what he's saying, nigga. Did you hear his cadence? The track is still playing. Half man and half amazing. On the stages he be blazing. But I ain't doing shit unless the motherfuckers paying. And I was only supposed to be laying it down. Is it the world that's supposed to hear you or just your town? Is it the fans or your label that give you the crown? Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open. Can't fix what ain't broken, keep your third eye open.
battle now!
We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars. We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars. We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars. There's lion blood in my chalice, a goat heart in the balance. I speak in italics, discussing these chances. In the Eiffel Tower of Paris, by chariot, the color is metallic. A wonderland to Alice, it's all blunder and malice. Best talent that's combined with magic. Behind the static, there's voices in the shadow. The only choice is battle. Hop into Hellcat and skedaddle. They're watching King Kong climb the Tower of Babel. Ignore every Eve trying to give me an apple. The little rascal that can't be canceled. In the courtyard of my castle, these hens doing nothing but cackle. Now they walking in my chapel with candles that's lit. Definitely with the shits, cause we handle it. Commit with the building that is brick by brick. Old Mac, big head, can't tell me shit. Capoeira with the spiral kick, spit hieroglyphs when the tyrants sit at the Coliseum. Whether spies or allies, I know them when I see them. Greet them with an olive branch, that's for the treason. Watch Pocahontas rain dance for the season. Is he still breathing? After the execution, they blame spirits and start the accusing, and then survive every disaster and delusion. Supreme mathematics, the author of confusion. Niggas be cheating and they still losing. Bones in my blank keep me tuned and influenced by the moon sin. A lunatic in the truant skin, a boogeyman with a heart like a ruby gem. A whirlwind, I twirl in the middle of tornadoes. Between riddles and fables, keep my Glock on the table. Shot of scotch keeps me stable. Watching divas belly dance with diamonds in their navel. We rode on sound waves that was wavy for a label. And while you getting hung by the TV cable, I was ready and able. The black amour that raised you from the grave to the cradle. We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars. We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars. We battle with the gods under 1,000,000 stars.